We are live here on the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. I am your host, as always, Harrison Graham, on YouTube and on Rumble today. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. I see Tony Fuentes and the gang in the chat. Shout out to the real ones who have been waiting for us for the past several minutes, and in some cases for an hour or so. Got producer Nick and producer Trace with us today. Appreciate their fine work. Let's get the live chat going. Shout out your city. Let us know where you guys are watching from. Tony Fuentes in Dallas. What's good, Tony? What's good? He said, "Sup, Kingdom, I'm back. Let's get this Victory Monday underway." Yes, sir. Got Ozzy in Tampa, Matt Rader in Knoxville, Tennessee. We got I'm Dub Brown in Plantation, Florida. PS4, The New Frontier in Columbia. We got Kate Chappell in Kansas City. Frogs win. Yes, sir, Tony. 10-0. 3 more, and we're playoff bound. 3 more. We got Jeff in Belton, Missouri. RJ in Wisconsin. Lewis is in Mexico, Missouri. Laura in Granby, Missouri. Independence, Missouri from Sherrington. We got T-Tire in Michigan. Mike Smith in Tampa. We got Agent in Paha. Let's see. Hayes, Kansas is where Jacob is. Branson, Missouri from Annette. The Chaffee in Warrensburg. What's up, Michael? We got Achilles saying Toronto. Double Eagles in Youngstown, Ohio. Parsons, Kansas. We got New York in the chat. Des Moines, Iowa from Marcel. Olympia, Washington. You guys are all over the place. Kansas City, Missouri from Michael Porter. So appreciate you guys for tuning in today. Slovakia from Dropso. What's up? Denver, Colorado from Young Craze. Maryland from Dave as well. Who you got, Kansas City or the Chargers? Sunday Night Football this upcoming week. And if the Chiefs win this game, they're 7-2. Chargers 5-4. Division, it's over. You get to 8-2. Chargers fall to 5-5. AFC West is done. And I got to be honest, I did not think this division would be this mediocre and in some cases flat out bad. The Chiefs are obviously very good, top seed in the AFC right now, but the Chargers have been mediocre. The Raiders are a joke, and so are the Broncos. By the way, I was joking with one of our other producers a little bit ago, Jeffrey Cooperstein. The Raiders play the Broncos this week, and producer Trace and producer Nick, if you guys agree, let me know. I think the owners of those two teams should meet up before kickoff and say, loser fires their coach tomorrow. Yeah. Nathaniel Hackett and Josh McDaniels. Who says no? I think the loser of Josh McDaniels, Nathaniel Hackett this week should get fired on Monday. I think that should be the case. That's just me, though. Jeff Wilson rocking with the Chiefs. So is RJ and Richard. We got Lloyd Kirk saying yes. Charles Henderson says Casey. Laura says yep. Nobody's good in the AFC West. Well, nobody except the Chiefs. I mean, come on, 8-2 or 7-2. Let's go. That's funny from Ozzy. I got jokes. I'm serious though. Like I'm not joking. That's the funny thing. Joe, Tony, JJ rocking with the Chiefs. So is Moishi and Meme of Passion. Get some water real quick. PS4 says Raider fans definitely don't say no. Oh, they say yes. If you are a Raider fan and you're told if you lose to Nate Hackett this week, that means that Josh McDaniels is gone, you absolutely say yes. Like, you're not making the playoffs this year, so that is just a fact. Trace is trolling Raider Nation in the background. It's absolutely hilarious. You know what's awesome is Established Titles, and they are sponsoring today's show, as Established Titles is a fun and novel way to preserve the natural woodlands of Scotland, as you can help global reforestation efforts. It is a project based on a historic Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lairds or lords and ladies in English. Title packs give you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land with a unique plot number on a private estate in Eddleston, Scotland, and an official certificate with a crest. They plant a tree with every order and work with global charities like One Tree Planted and Trees for the Future to support those global reforestation efforts. You could officially include the title of Lord or Lady on your credit card, your plane tickets, your dating profiles, and a whole lot more. It makes for a great last-minute gift. And by the way, the first 200 people purchasing a title pack using my link will effectively be next to my plot, because I already got a plot of land. I'm now Lord Harrison Graham, within a few minutes of walking distance. Depending on how many of you want to become a Lord or Lady, we can build our own Chiefs Report Kingdom. Black Friday sale underway right now with established titles with discounts up to 88% off, and we're going to give you an extra 10% off if you use promo code CHAT at establishedtitles.com/chat. That is promo code CHAT at establishedtitles.com/chat. Get your plot of land, become a lord or lady. Let's build our Chiefs Report kingdom and make it happen. All right, how hyped are you guys for Kadarius Toney? You looked pretty good yesterday. Scale it from 1 to 10. 1 being, that was a fluke, you're not hyped. 10 being very hyped. I'm at an 8 or 9, guys. I think if he keeps his head screwed on straight, he's got all the tools, man. I mean, he can go up and get it. We saw that. He's an elusive playmaker. We saw that. They used him in the run game, in the pass game. It's exciting, man. It's exciting. Let's see. Deciphered says 10. Tony says 11. Lewis says 10. So does Sherrington. Joe. Achilles says 9. Michael says 10. We got Moishi saying 100,000. JJ Hackett 11, Tony 11. We got Marcus saying 9. I haven't seen anything lower than an 8. That from JD Hollowell. 9.5 from Michael. Kenneth 10. RJ 100. Tony looks good. Plus 9. He says, let's see, 10. He's way over exceeded my expectations. I mean, 2 games in, and he's already basically – he already did something he never did with the Giants, and that's score a touchdown. Tyreek Hill, who? Hey, listen. Tyreek Hill is having a season for the ages. But – I do think Kadarius Toney can do some things that Tyreek could do as well. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see what his future looks like here. Speaking of the offense, will Patrick Mahomes win MVP? Type Y for yes and for no. 98% say yes, and even though this is a biased show here at the Chiefs Report and a biased audience, I agree. He's the front runner right now. He was the front runner last week, threw 4 more touchdowns this week. Josh Allen lost. Jalen Hurts plays tonight, so we'll see how he plays. But I think Mahomes has at least a decent lead over him right now. I think Mahomes is the clear favorite right now. Clear favorite. I think it's like Mahomes up here. Assuming Jalen Hurts wins tonight, he's probably like in this range. Then it's like Allen or Tua and Allen are in this range. Tua's coming up, though. He did miss 3 games, but they're undefeated with him. And then it's everyone else, like Lamar, Joe Burrow, whoever. Kenneth says yes. Tony says yes. Sheldon, HD Chiefs fan, saying yes. Laura Edwards says yes. So does Jeff Wilson, Brian, RJ, Dave, Jeremiah. So, yeah, man, it's exciting. I mean, Mahomes leads the NFL in passing touchdowns and passing yards. That's a pretty strong resume, plus his team's 7-2 right now. 2 mailbags today, so use hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat to get your questions on the show. If you Super Chat, you can jump the line, and we will get your questions answered. If you use the hashtag Chiefs, we will answer those questions as well. So use hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat. That way producer Nick can find all of your questions. So get the hashtag Chiefs questions in there, and we will get them all answered coming up here in a little bit. All right, Victory Monday. If you're fired up, like this video. Hit that like button. Chiefs are 7-2. I keep saying 8-2. Probably because they're going to beat the Chargers on Sunday, let's be honest. Like this video if you're fired up for Victory Monday. Pretty straightforward win over the Jags yesterday, which is nice to see them take care of business. And now they can put the AFC West to bed if they can win next Sunday at night. So like this video, hit that like button if you're fired up about the Chiefs and getting it done over Jacksonville. All right, coming up on today's show, we'll get to all your questions, hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat. But first, we got some news and rumors here on an Overreaction Monday, so don't go anywhere here on the Chiefs Report. What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? I'm Harrison Graham, and you're watching the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. And we got a lot of stuff to get into, including the latest Chiefs news and rumors. And if you're watching this live, shout out Elizabeth Reed. She just sent in a $50 super chat. We'll get to that after this segment. All right, JuJu Smith-Schuster injury update. He is in the concussion protocol after, quite frankly, I mean, I don't like to call guys dirty players, but I would say it was a dirty hit. He was a defenseless receiver and took a shot to the head, and quite frankly, it was scary. The hit he took over the middle. Ridiculous that they picked up the flag, and they did it again on Marquez Valdes-Scantling as well. I thought those were garbage calls, but that did happen nonetheless. He entered the concussion protocol and did not return, and obviously something to monitor here for Sunday night against the Chargers as JuJu's been your most consistent receiver this year. I mean, he's been putting up big numbers, 45 catches, 615 yards, just a couple of touchdowns, but in terms of being a reliable, heavy targeted guy, he's been really good in that regard. And quite frankly, with how concussions are now, it's pretty rare that you play the next week when you have one. It does happen sometimes. Sometimes guys clear the protocols, but NFL's taking head injuries very seriously now. So I'd be surprised if he played, especially with how vicious that hit was. Now, this dropped a little bit ago as well, as JuJu's mom tweeted this out, or put this out on social media. I won't read the full clip, or the full kind of message there, but she said that JuJu is A-OK. Now, I think, I don't think that's a medical update. I think that's more of a concerned mother seeing her son get absolutely blasted in a game. And, he's awake. He's probably going to be fine, but he's in the concussion protocol. He doesn't have, hopefully existential brain damage, I think, is more of what that is. This isn't a situation where he's in the hospital for days on end or something like that. We'll see how the protocols go this week. He'll have to pass all the tests and all that stuff. But like I said, I'd probably guess that he won't play on Sunday night. Show JuJu some love. Type 9 down in the comments. He's been really good this year. I've been pleased with how he has played. On pace for, an 1,200-yard season, and, certainly lost on pace statistics yesterday because he left early in the game, but fired up for how he's been playing. Show him some love. Hopefully we see him back on the field very, very soon. Luckily, Kadarius Toney was there to pick up some of the slack. He made several plays in JuJu and Mecole Hardman's absence. Remember, Hardman did not play in this game as well, as he's nursing an injury. He's kind of week to week right now. We'll see what his status is this week. But Toney was solid, man. 4 catches, 57 yards, and a touchdown. Also had 2 carries for 33 yards. He's a guy that you can line up in the backfield, bring on jet sweeps, get him touches in different ways. You see on the photo, both here on the stat graphic and on this photo here, that he kind of toe-tapped the sideline 1 foot to maintain his balance, because he almost drifted out of bounds in that wide-open kind of flare pass, but able to stay in. That was nice to see him find the end zone. For the first time in his career, by the way, he never did score a touchdown with the Giants. He looked good, man. And even more impressive play was Mahomes kind of threw a pump-and-go jump ball to him on the sideline, just man-to-man coverage, jump ball, hope your guy makes a play. He made it. He climbed the ladder and high-pointed the football. That was really impressive to set up the Chiefs inside the 5. So he looks like the full package, man. I mean, coming out of Florida, he had the speed, the athleticism, the route-running ability. It was between the ears. It's all about the mentals for him. There's some character concerns to be worried about, but if he can lock in, and I think the Chiefs, when they made this trade, they bet on their culture, like, hey, we're going to bring this guy in here with vets like Kelsey and Mahomes and even guys like JuJu who have been around, and we're going to bet that outweighs any negativity around this guy, and so far it certainly seems to be the case. I'm excited about him. Shout out to Established Titles for sponsoring today's Chiefs Report, and let's tell you a little bit about our sponsor. As Established Titles is a fun and novel way to preserve the natural woodlands of Scotland while helping global reforestation efforts. This project is based on a historic Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lairds or lords and ladies in English. Title packs give you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land with a unique plot number on a private estate in Eddleston, Scotland, and an official certificate with a crest. They plant a tree with every order and work with global charities like One Tree Planted and Trees for the Future to support those global reforestation efforts. You can officially add the title of Lord or Lady on your credit card, plane tickets, stadium profiles, etc. if you make a purchase here. First 200 people, by the way, can join our Chiefs Report Kingdom in Scotland, because I got my plot of land, and the first 200 people who use promo code CHAT can have their plot of land within walking distance of where mine is. We can start our own kingdom over there. Makes for an amazing last-minute gift. Established Titles already has their Black Friday sale going on with deals up to 80% off. We're going to throw you an extra 10% off when you use promo code CHAT. So go to establishedtitles.com/chat. Use promo code CHAT. This makes for a great like white elephant gift. I mean, imagine you're at a party and your gift falls to someone. You're like, yeah, you are now going to become a lord or lady and have a plot of land in Scotland. They're going to be like, what the hell is going on? And you're going to be kind of the storyteller of the night. A lot of fun. Promo code CHAT at establishedtitles.com/chat. All right, well, I'm sure there's some OBJ fatigue on the channel. I've seen some comments saying I'm tired of you guys talking about it, but I mean, there's new information like every day now. So as long as he's out there and there's connections to the Chiefs, it's something we're going to discuss. The Chiefs are reportedly one of 5 teams that OBJ is interested in. These are the 5 teams right now. The Dallas Cowboys, who are 6-3, the New York Giants at 7-2, Bills at 6-3, 49ers at 5-4, and the Chiefs at 7-2, all reportedly in the mix to land Odell Beckham Jr. And, I've kind of gone back and forth. I've been, in favor of making this move for a while, but I've also acknowledged, okay, you had Kadarius Toney, you've got 6 legitimate rotation receivers, but JuJu's in the concussion protocol. Likely that's short term, but you never know. Mecole Hardman's a little banged up. Sky Moore has kind of been a non-factor. Justin Watson's a nice depth piece, but he's certainly not OBJ. I think the Chiefs have a real shot here because I think he would get legitimate playing time for this team. Now, would Dallas have a bigger role for him with no real threat outside of CeeDee Lamb? Perhaps. Would Buffalo kind of make a point to get him involved more often? They don't have the depth Kansas City does at receiver. Maybe. But I think the Chiefs gives him the best chance to win. I think he could be a game changer here. And win a title, hit free agency, go get some money next year. I think the Chiefs are right there with a real shot to land Odell Beckham Jr. Now, should the Chiefs sign him? What do you guys think? Type S for sign or P for pass. Let me know down in the comment section below if you guys think the Chiefs should go out and get Odell Beckham Jr. Now, before we get to our last story here, subscribe to the Chiefs Report if you love Chiefs Kingdom and if you're a fan of today's show. If this is your first time on the channel, we publish videos every single day, the latest Chiefs news, rumors. We didn't have a watch party this past Sunday, but we will be live next Sunday night for a Chiefs-Chargers watch party. Basically what that is we throw a live scoreboard up. I provide play-by-play stats and updates. It's a lot of fun. Join us for that, and join us for more coverage here throughout the season. All right, final story. Frank Clark set to return after missing the last 2 games with the 2-game suspension. And good timing, I'd say, right? You're 7-2, second-half push coming up, and the defense is playing well. 5 sacks without Frank Clark against Jacksonville. Now, it's the Jags, but you add a veteran pass rusher to the mix who obviously has been underwhelming at times, up and down, but still a talented player. It can only help, right? Even if he's not a beast, get him in there in the rotation, whether he's a starter or a backup. I think that's a good thing. Chris Jones had a big game against Jacksonville. That was good to see. He's up to 7 sacks now. Frank Clark getting out there should help that situation as well. And again, I mentioned it earlier. I'll mention it again. This is kind of the game to bury the Chargers and the AFC West. You win this game to get to 8-2. Chargers fall to 5-5. Raiders and Broncos even further back. This division's over. At that point, you can stop worrying about the division and focus on the AFC as a whole. Now, you lose the Chargers. It is in L.A. You're only a game up, so that keeps the Chargers still alive here. But you really got to focus here if you're Kansas City and put this division away, especially if Keenan Allen and Mike Williams are still banged up. They have not even been playing over the past couple of weeks. So predict the score. Chiefs, Chargers at SoFi Stadium. Who you got, and what do you think the final score is going to be? My early of the week prediction, I might change the score later on. I'll go 31-20. I just don't see the Chargers keeping up if their big play weapons are out. We'll follow the injury reports throughout the week, obviously, and make a later prediction as well. But get your score predictions in when it comes to the Chiefs and the Chargers. All right, here, let's get some shout-outs here, and then we can get to those Super Chats. We'll save those Super Chats for the mailbag. At least Elizabeth reads. That's a good question. Joshua says 43-10. Jeff Wilson, 27-17. Dale Webb says 40-20. 29-20. Harrison misses 2 extra points. Butker, yeah. It's one thing, he missed another one this week. I don't know what's going on with him. He's not kicking the ball that well right now, which is, you get into a tight game in the playoffs, you want to be able to trust your guy. So hopefully he rights the ship. He's been so good for this team for so long, but it's not been a good season for him. I know he had that ankle problem, but I don't know. My community man is asking if Elizabeth Reed is still in the chat. Queen Elizabeth. Lady Queen Elizabeth, if she gets going with established titles.
Yeah, well, Queen Lady Supreme Leader Elizabeth. She drops another
All right. Trey says if another 50 bomb, we'll go ahead and show this, comes in from Elizabeth Reed. Let's flash this question here in the mailbag as well. If we get another 50, he'll do a beer chug through the Freedom Funnel. He's ready to go. So, Elizabeth, appreciate the donation. We'll answer that question in further detail during our mailbag, but certainly appreciate all your donations. And shout out to you for yesterday as well. That was unnecessarily thoughtful of you to hop into our stream. Moishi with the $5. What's happening with Harrison Butker recently with way too much misses? We will also answer that question in further detail during our mailbag. And then shout out Tony Fuentes with the $1 donation. Appreciate that as well, my friend. So on that note, hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat. Get your questions on the show, and we will answer as many of them as we possibly can here on the Chiefs Report. Use hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat to get your questions in. If you super chatted like Elizabeth, we will prioritize those. Otherwise, we will get to all of your hashtag Chiefs questions. Ask about free agency, off-season stuff, the upcoming game, the AFC, Super Bowl, whatever. Whatever your questions are, we will answer them on the show. So get the hashtag Chiefs in, and we will answer as many as we can. And if you don't use the hashtag or super chat, producer Nick is not going to find your question, because that's how our software works. You got to use the hashtag or super chat. All right, let's hop into this mailbag here on the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. Coming up right now. You're watching the Chiefs Report. I am Harrison Graham. Appreciate everybody for tuning into this mailbag, and appreciate everybody for submitting their questions on today's show. So use the hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat if you haven't already. And with that being said, okay, pause. Elizabeth Reed just sent in 100. We'll start over this mailbag in a second. Trace, get up here. Trace, get up here. Come on. Trizzy Trace. Elizabeth. 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 Let's go. She's
Elizabeth. Kylie wanted me to tell you she hopes you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.
Hey, we'll bring the, we'll call Kylie.
We'll bring it back.
We'll bring it back.
She's got class today.
She's
got class today.
Oh, okay. Elizabeth Reed says, have a drink for me still at work. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to knock out this first mailbag, and then before the second mailbag, we will, Trace will do that Freedom Funnel. He will chug a beer for you guys. Shout out Elizabeth in the chat, and then we will get that going here. So let's start the mailbag over. Let's still get Elizabeth's first question in that mailbag, Rolly, plus that other super chat, and we'll get the ball rolling here. So appreciate you guys. Mailbag time, hashtag Chiefs or super chat. Bryant, I see you. I'm giving you love. Shout out to you, Brian. All right, hashtag Chiefs or super chat. Let's get this thing rolling. You're watching the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. I am Harrison Graham. Appreciate everybody for tuning into today's show. And on today's show, it's a mailbag. You guys submit your questions. We've got answers for you guys. If you super chat, you can skip the line. Just like Elizabeth Reed, who kicks us off today. What do you think is the biggest need right now for the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl, if anything? I know the Chiefs just had 5 sacks against Jacksonville, but I think a more consistent week-to-week pass rush is something I would look for. Something that I'm still monitoring is the running game, too. Isaiah Pacheco had a nice game. He did have an early fumble, but 86 yards rushing against the Jags. That was good to see. That's been inconsistent as well, this team running the football. So those are a couple minor things. I think creating more turnovers would be nice on defense, but overall the defense has played a lot better. So I feel pretty good about where this team is at. I don't think there's any major needs, but those are a couple small areas I would focus on. Moishi Feldman says, what's happening to Harrison Butker recently? Way too many misses. Yeah, I mean, he's missed 3 or 4 extra points now. He's missed 3 field goals. And, by the way, that's with missing, 4 or 5 games? So he has not been himself. He said last week he's still not fully healthy, and I wasn't a huge fan of that comment from him. Like, if it's true, okay, I appreciate the honesty, but it's also like you came back when you missed a lot of games, then came back. If you're not healthy, then don't kick. Go get, keep him on IR until he is healthy. So, I don't know how to feel about that comment. But, yeah, he has not been himself this year. He looks a little bit off, and hopefully that gets straightened out here. Brian Gale's using hashtag Chiefs with JuJu in the concussion protocol. Will we see more Justin Watson or Sky Moore? I'm leaning more toward Watson. Him and Pat are on the same page. I trust Justin Watson more right now. I mean, long term, obviously, Sky Moore is a guy that you invested in with the second-round pick, but he's been underwhelming. The facts are the facts. If this was a team that was young and rebuilding, I'd say play Sky Moore, but I think Justin Watson gives you more value per snap than Sky Moore does. That's just what I think. So I would rather give those snaps to Watson, but we shall see. Run me my money with the question, what's more likely, Mahomes for MVP or winning the Super Bowl? Well, I would say, and don't get all upset for me, I think what's more likely at this exact moment is Mahomes for MVP because he's literally the betting favorite. And winning the Super Bowl, I mean, you're still going to have to win 3 or 4 playoff games. So I would say Mahomes for MVP is more likely, but that doesn't mean winning a Super Bowl can't happen. I mean, there's a chance both happen, a decent chance, I would say, actually. What's more likely? What do you guys think? Type 1 for Mahomes winning MVP, Type 2 for Super Bowl. Again, just mathematically playing the odds. The betting favorites win the MVP through the halfway part is Patrick Mahomes, so that is more likely. Sure, the Chiefs are close to Super Bowl favorites right now, but going through that playoff gauntlet is going to be a bigger challenge than Mahomes winning a regular season award. We got Agent Naha in the chat. Will the Chiefs and Dolphins meet in the playoffs? They might, man. That'd be electric, man. Could you imagine an AFC title game where Tyreek Hill and the Dolphins come to Arrowhead Stadium? There's going to be emotions there for some players on those two teams. Tua's playing really good ball. I mean, say what you want about the guy. He is an RPO magician. He's really good. I mean, when he has time to throw, he's really good. Now, doesn't throw a great deep ball, doesn't have the best arm, but in terms of the intermediate passing game, the RPO game, the guy's playing good football. If you disagree, you're just wrong. I mean, he's having a hell of a year. He's not Mahomes, but he's playing good ball this year. Freddie Martinez, do you think we will have the 1 seed? Well, right now you do. Going into Sunday night against the Chargers, the Chiefs are the number 1 seed. Buffalo lost again. They've lost 2 in a row. You got Miami, who's a half game back, but they already have 3 losses. So, yeah, as of this exact moment, the Chiefs control their own destiny, and if I had to bet on any team in the AFC to get the number 1 seed, it would be the Kansas City Chiefs. I just trust them the most right now. Kate Chappell, do you think we can have a chance at another Super Bowl if Buffalo keeps choking in games? I mean, you were going to have a chance either way. Like, even if Buffalo wins the AFC regular season, gets the number 1 seed, that is not a guarantee that they're going to win the AFC in the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. Like, I know they beat the Chiefs heads up at Arrowhead, but it was a close game, and B, they've never beaten the Chiefs in the playoffs in this kind of era of Chiefs and Bills football. And Buffalo has shown the last couple of weeks, like, they're inconsistent at times. They can be beaten. Obviously, the Chiefs can too, but until they can beat the Chiefs in the playoffs, they're going to have to prove it to me. Like, they have not been able to do it up to this point. BetUS, the place to go to bet on Super Bowl odds and other games and prop bets as well. All you got to do is go to chatsports.com/ChiefsBet, create your account there, and then plug in the promo code Chiefs125. That'll get you a 125% deposit bonus. So if you throw down $100 when you sign up, they will give you $125 for free. Patrick Mahomes, a pretty healthy MVP favorite right now with plus 125 odds. What that means is if you bet $10, you would win $12.50 plus your original 10 back, of course. Jalen Hurts plus 300, Tua Tagovailoa plus 450, Josh Allen plus 550, Lamar Jackson at plus 1,000. So Mahomes, if he keeps throwing for 3-4 tutties a week, putting up big numbers, and the Chiefs are winning, this is his award to lose at this point. Chatsports.com/ChiefsBet, promo code Chiefs125. PS4, the new frontier. How many yards do you predict the Chiefs running backs will have against the Chargers D-line? Gosh. Honestly, if you give me at least like 90, I'd be happy. I mean, this rushing attack's been pretty poor. They rush for well over 100 against Jacksonville, though. I think if you're over 100, you win for sure. If you're 80-plus at least, just some semblance of a running game, I think this team is going to be in a good spot as well. So I'll say like 95 rushing yards. They're not going to go crazy, but I think they'll at least get some production on the ground. From Jay, could it be good that who got injured? Andrew Wiley, to give other guys a chance. Yeah, Andrew Wiley elbow sprain, so we'll kind of see what that means going forward. Lucas Niang in his practice window to return. I've said it for weeks. If Niang is healthy, he is your best option at right tackle. Now, I don't know how healthy he can get, if he's a legitimate option there, but he's a talented guy, and I thought he was playing really well last year before he went down. Matt Crick, do you know how long Justin Ross's contract is and how good do you think he will do next year? I don't know the specifics of the contract, but they have his right, so he will be back on the 90-man roster this offseason. If he's healthy, he'll probably be one of those guys fighting for a roster spot. It's hard to know how good he'll be. I mean, I don't think it's a given at all that he ever even plays. Only 4 teams medically cleared him before the draft. So there's major concern there. There's production concern after a lot of his injuries. So, yeah, it's an unknown, but the Chiefs were willing to take a chance and see if he could turn into something. Do you love the Kansas City Chiefs? If the answer is yes, you should subscribe. It's 100% free to subscribe to the channel. We publish videos every single day, the latest Chiefs news, rumors. We answer your questions every single Monday on the Chiefs Report live show. So subscribe and don't miss any of it here on the channel. Deciphered with Mecole missing his first game and now JuJu forcing this issue, you think the OBJ discussion will heat up? I think it's got to be facing this issue, by the way. I think it's got to be at least in the conversation. Now, I think they've been interested all along. OBJ's been interested. They've been interested. I've said this is a deep unit, but, I mean, go through the roster, right? And we can throw up the depth chart real quick, the Chiefs wide receiver depth chart. You think about the pieces they have, right? JuJu is probably the only guy when healthy that I can for sure say without a doubt, maybe not without a doubt, but I would say is a better player right now because of what he's been doing this year. We don't know what OBJ is going to be, but Marquez Valdes-Scantling, he's hit and miss. I like him as a secondary receiver, but I think OBJ is more talented. Mecole Hardman, different type of player. Toney, I like what he's doing, but he's got a lot more to show, obviously. Justin Watson, nice guy, doing some good things. OBJ's better, clearly better than Sky Moore. So you're talking about a guy that if he's right, at worst, he's wide receiver 2. That's why there's interested in a guy like Odell Beckham. So, yeah, I think there's going to be interest, and I think with JuJu and Hardman dealing with ailments, there could be even more interest. Guess who's back? Back again. Elizabeth Reed with a 20, kind of off topic, but who do you think the Chiefs should trade for? Draft at running back or do just see how Pacheco is? I think that obviously, the rest of the season, they will evaluate Pacheco, and I think at minimum he will have a role next year. But I do think it's possible that the Chiefs draft a running back next year. I think CEH is falling out of favor here. I think there's a good chance he's not on this team next year. I don't think the Chiefs will trade for like a big-name back or anything, but I think drafting one in like the 3rd round or something like that could definitely be in the works because the running back position's been a bit of a problem this year. Dale Webb Jr. says, sign Jerry Tillery. So if you're watching this live on Monday, he clears waivers literally today. Do we know if he cleared waivers? I'm actually going to pull this up real quick on Twitter. Let's see if he did. That he got waived on Friday. Oh, the Raiders claimed him. That is classic. The Raiders have claimed him. So the Chiefs will not get him. The Raiders have claimed Jerry Tillery. He stays in the AFC West. So won't have to face him Sunday, but the Chiefs will have to face him here in a few weeks. So no Jerry Tillery to Kansas City, but he will stay in the AFC West, play for the Las Vegas Raiders. All right, get some thoughts here, some shout-outs. What's more likely, type 1 for Mahomes winning MVP or 2 for winning the Super Bowl? And then, Trace, you want to go get the Freedom Funnel and do your thing for Elizabeth Reed here? Shout out to Elizabeth Reed for sending in 170 bones today. Round of applause. We didn't have a watch party yesterday, so shout out Elizabeth Reed for picking up the slack here on a Monday. At work, by the way. So, hey, how about the Frogs? Couple more games. Let's go. Need to beat Baylor this Saturday. It's going to be a stressful week. HD Chiefs fan, I'm not going to read that out loud, but I am married, and Elizabeth Reed knows that, so no funny shenanigans going on. Elizabeth Reed's just a real one. She's a real one here at the Chiefs Report. She's one of the fellas. I mean, what do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? And we're both TCU alums, so that's how we roll here. That's fake news, Tom Hood. That's not how we roll here. I don't play that game. Some dudes do that. I ain't one of them. I don't do that shit. So, that's how I'm gonna leave. Elizabeth. All right, Trizzy, let's go full screen for this, Rolly. Full screen, Trace this is America. Bud Light into a Freedom Funnel. I mean, that's.
My dad would be so proud.
This is how.
My dad would be so proud.
I mean, your dad was probably doing this 30 years ago, and then.
Yeah, San Marcos.
Yes. Oh well, what else are you gonna do down there? So, hey, Texas State. Hey, man. It's good stuff going.
Cheers to Elizabeth. You're the MVP.
Trace. Oh my gosh. That little pregame. Trace is producing our Eagles watch party tonight and starting early. Hey.
We stay lit.
Yeah, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. That's the motto. That is the motto. So, someone said you're drinking out of a bird's ass. Hey.
Damn straight I am.
Hey, damn straight he is. He says. All right.
You're not.
Trey says, and you're not. It'd be like that, man. It'd be like that. All right, hashtag Chiefs Super Chat. One more mailbag to go, and then we're gonna get out of here. Appreciate all the questions. So we'll answer some more. Hashtag Chiefs Super Chat. We're gonna get you covered with some more questions being answered here. So get on the show, Super Chat like Elizabeth Reed, or send in the hashtag Chiefs, and we will answer a few more questions. Then we'll get out of here in about 10 or 15 minutes. So appreciate everybody so far. Few more to go. Producer Nick says we need a few more questions. I see Tony and Joe getting in there, Dale Webb getting a few more in there. So let's load them up, hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat, and then we will get out of here. So load them up here on the Chiefs Report. Here we go. I see Deciphered getting one in there, RJ getting one in there. Then we got a good starting point there. So hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat, and we will get to all your questions. Before we jump into today's Chiefs mailbag, help us get to 34,000 subscribers here on the Chiefs Report. We are 391 away from doing just that. So hit the sub button, daily videos here on the channel, here on the Chiefs Report, and coming up, we're going to answer all your questions. What's up? Welcome into the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. I am Harrison Graham, and it is mailbag time. Use hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat to get your questions here on the show. Keep loading them up. That way we have plenty to go to before the end of this segment. It's hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat. PS4, the new frontier, kicks things off. Will we be able to extend Chris Jones? What's he under contract through next year or something like that? He's got at least another year. I think he's a free agent in 24, so... yeah, I mean, that's something you'll have to think about, right? Could that get done this offseason? Maybe. That would probably lower his cap hit for next year, so I do think that's something that could be in the works. He doesn't look like a player that's slowing down by any means whatsoever. 7 sacks this year, still a dominant interior pass rusher. So, yeah, I certainly want to keep him long term, and he loves Kansas City, and Chiefs Kingdom loves him as well. Deciphered with the Super Chat. Any thoughts on if we will keep Orlando Brown? I mean, I've got thoughts. I mean, here's my kind of overall thought. Orlando Brown continues to be inconsistent. Is he a good player? Yeah. Is he a great player? No. Is he a reset the market left tackle? Hell no. He is not proven to be that. Now, am I sitting here saying I regret the trade? No, because he's been a huge upgrade at left tackle. Has he been perfect? Not at all, but still better than what you had at the time. So I think my prediction is there will be some negotiations. He'll want more money than the Chiefs are willing to spend based on his production. He's going to get franchise tagged again. $20 million is what the cost will be next year. I think that's worth it for one more year. He won't get tagged a third time, so then they'll have to figure something out the following offseason. Hopefully we see some more consistent play and it becomes an easier negotiation process for both Brown and the Chiefs. RJ with the question, who could the Chiefs, what what could the Chiefs do in the next offseason? Well, Chris Jones extension, I actually like that idea. Obviously, you're going to have a lot of draft capital from that Tyreek Hill trade, still a couple more picks extra to get taken care of there. Frank Clark, you have to make a decision on if he's going to be on this team next season. I didn't think he would be this year, but they did a major restructuring to make sure he was. Do you cut him next year? We'll see how he plays the rest of the way this year. Running back is a position to watch to see if they want to try and upgrade there. What do you do with JuJu Smith-Schuster? He's on a one-year deal this year. Do you bring him back? So a lot of questions that the Chiefs will have to ask and answer this offseason. From Josh Allen sucks. Be honest. Do you think the Chiefs will get OBJ? I do think they have a chance. Would I say they're the favorite to land OBJ? I would not say they're the favorite to land OBJ, but I do think they could get him. These are the 5 teams reportedly on Odell Beckham Jr.'s list: the Cowboys, Giants, Bills, Niners, and Chiefs. Let's just go through the teams, right? Cowboys, they make a lot of sense for a couple reasons. 1, the NFC is wide open. 2, after CeeDee Lamb, that wide receiver unit's been bad this year. 3, OBJ loves the spotlight. There's not a bigger spotlight than playing for the Dallas Cowboys. Those are a lot of reasons. Number 2, the Giants. He's played there before. The fans love him. He had success there. If he ever goes into the Hall of Fame, it'll likely be as a New York Giant, and the receiving core is garbage. He legitimately could walk in there and be their number 1 right away. So that's appealing. Buffalo, like the Chiefs, good team, contender, good quarterback. They got Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis, but after that, the receivers are kind of meh. So that's appealing. But cold weather, there's a report out there he doesn't want to play in super cold weather. San Francisco, not as good of a team. That's a detriment. Jimmy G, average quarterback, but I think he would have a role there. Creative play caller and Kyle Shanahan, team that's had playoff success. Kansas City, we've outlined it. Yes, it's a deep wide receiver room, but after JuJu, he could legit be your wide receiver too. So playing with Mahomes, obviously, as well, is something that would be appealing, I would imagine. Do you think the Chiefs will land OBJ? All 5 teams could make sense for different reasons. Type Y for yes, type in for no. It's a 1 in 5 chance, so the odds say no, but I do think there is a decent chance for Kansas City. From Jay, if we let Hardman walk, could we sign DJ Chark this offseason? Yeah, I don't think the two are mutually exclusive. DJ Chark is a big body, kind of red zone jump ball guy. Mecole Hardman's more of a speed, get in space, get him the ball in space type of receiver, completely different guy. I think it's more of if JuJu gets too much money on the open market, could DJ Chark be like a JuJu light? I think that could make some sense, but he has been hurt in Detroit this year. Battle Cat, are there any good left tackles in this draft coming up? Peter Skoronski of Northwestern's a left tackle, but draft experts think he might be a guard in the NFL. He's going to measure with short arms. Sometimes I think that stuff is overrated. I think you can make up for some of that with really good technique, which he has, but sometimes it is legitimate. Short arms makes it tougher for a tackle. You got to have that power and technique if you don't have the arm length. So he's a guy. Paris Johnston Jr. out of Ohio State is another one, but it's a lesser caliber offensive line class, so that's why I do think Orlando Brown will be back for at least 1 more year. From Tony Fuentes, will we beat Cincinnati? Yeah, I hope so, Tony, because that is a skeleton the Chiefs, a rare skeleton the Chiefs have. 0-2 last year against the Bengals. Second game in particular, a game that you blew in the AFC title game. You're up 21-10 late in the first half. You have that little debacle inside the 5 where you don't get points. Reports of a halftime meltdown in the locker room, and then in the second half you just look lost offensively and you lose that game in overtime. So that is obviously something you want to kind of just nip in the bud, right? Like beat the Bengals. That way that's you don't want to go into this playoffs 0-3 against Cincinnati and then potentially meet them in the playoffs. That's not something mentally you want to have to take on. BetUS, the place to go to bet on sports all season long through the NFL, NBA, college football the rest of the way, when baseball's in season, college basketball. Producer Nick Roloff, he gambles on college basketball more than anyone I've ever seen. The guy is just it's something else. He texts me, he's like, dude, did you see Colorado State play Norfolk State tonight? Wild ending. And I'm like, I didn't, but I'm sure it was entertaining, and you can bet on those games at chatsports.com/ChiefsBet, promo code Chiefs125. You can also bet on the MVP odds. Patrick Mahomes the favorite right now with Jalen Hurts, Tua, and Josh Allen lurking. Lamar Jackson down there, plus 1,000 odds. Feel good about any of those candidates, Patrick Mahomes. Go put some money down. Chatsports.com/ChiefsBet. Use the promo code Chiefs125 to get that deposit bonus. All right, Kelly Uphouse. What do you think about Kareem Hunt? I mean, I think he's a good player, and I understand why the Chiefs got rid of him. I mean, he was caught on camera kicking a female in the face, and he lied to the organization about it. And then when the video appeared, they felt like they had no choice. Had he come clean and said, I made a mistake, and explained the situation that happened, and they investigated and determined, hey, this guy messed up, but we're going to give him another chance, I think he might still be here. But the fact that he lied about the situation and the video proved that, that's why they had to cut him. Great player. By all accounts since then, hasn't really had any issues, but, you get on camera in I guess that was 2019, in this day and age, physically assaulting a female, it's not going to go well for you. You're going to be in trouble. There's no doubt about it. Joe Fazio, chances we actually see Ronald Jones. I thought this could be the week it happened. It was not. With Pacheco running well, that lessens the chances. It may take an injury to a Pacheco or a Edwards-Helaire or a McKinnon. I mean, McKinnon is going to be active every week. He probably brings you the most on a week-to-week basis just in blitz pickup and catching the football. I like the way Pacheco ran last week, but McKinnon's a guy, on important downs that's going to be on the field a lot. So maybe on Ronald Jones, We'll see. I'd be tempted 1 week just to make CEH inactive, have Ronald Jones up, and just see how he does, but that has not been the case yet. Terry Singleton, do you think do you think though extend? I think you're asking if JuJu should get extended. I'm down for it with the way he's played this year. I've said it for a few weeks now. He's not a alpha male Tyreek Hill, DeAndre Hopkins level number one, but he's like a tier 2 number one with how he's playing this year. He's going to have 1,100 yards and probably 6 or 7 touchdowns. That's solid. That's not top 5, top 10 receiver in the league, but it's top 20. I mean, he's playing really well. RJ, who could be a good draft pick or free agency signing for Kansas City? I would like to get some edge rushers. I think Karlaftis will get better over time, but Get another pass rusher. I think later in the draft, a capable running back would be fun to add to this offense. Those are a couple positions. Potentially a safety. Justin Reed's kind of just been average this year. Juan Thornhill's a free agent after this year. Not sure if he's going to be back. So those are a couple positions I'd look at. Shout out your city, Chiefs Kingdom. If you have a kingdom, shout that out too. So. Let us know where you guys are watching from. If you're international, shout out your country, and I'll be reading your comments, gauging where Chiefs Kingdom is tuning in from here on the Chiefs Report. Hashtag Chiefs Super Chat. We got time for a couple more here. Deciphered, how do you think Prince performed in the absence of Wiley? Nothing really stood out. I thought he was fine. I still think a healthy Lucas Niang would be the best option, especially if Andrew Wiley's out, but I don't know if that's going to be the case. I thought he held up fine. I don't think he's a long-term option over there, but I think for the rest of that Jags game, he was fine. Robert C. Outerbridge Sr., should the Chiefs pursue Jonathan Abrams? So he signed with the Packers, so they claimed him, they picked him up, so he did not clear waivers when the Raiders cut him. He is now with the Green Bay Packers. Appreciate all of the questions here on today's mailbag. If you want to ask me more questions, sorry we ran out of time, hit me up on Twitter. It's at HGramNFL, same handle on IG. If you have Instagram, at HGramNFL, and always down to answer your questions over there. All right, before we get out of here, and appreciate everybody for tuning in here, subscribe to the channel, by the way, as well. We're about to sign off here. Shout out Elizabeth Reed. She's a real one for sending in some super chats. Shout out producer Trace for slamming that one down. And also, round of applause, Nick Roloff, first Chiefs Report Live that he produced. Only 10 or 12 mistakes, but I'm just kidding. No mistakes. Clean producing on today's show. There's some frauds that on the planet that couldn't have done what he just did. They're out there, right, Trace? They're out there. They're out. So, some Raider fan producers, they would they would find a way to screw it up. But shout out Rolly, Nick Roloff in the chat for getting through this thing. Great show, man. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. So I'm Harrison Graham. We're going to send out. You can just fade this piece to black, Rolly. We'll be good to go. And we're going to sign off. Hit the sub button. More videos throughout the week. We'll see you next